And so the optimist, Swan, is just like, you know what we should do to really, like, a team-building activity?
Do you want to build a snowman?
It's literally, the song is Let's Build a Snowman.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
Go! And we're recording. Oh boy, what a weird one this is.
I am delighted that I chose this one, especially after the last two, which were a little bit more serious and...
Yeah, between last 5 years and King and I, we dealt with some pretty heavy subject matter. And I mean, this is intense subject matter.
But handled ridiculously.
It's handled in a very different way. So we are kicking off this week with, I'd never seen this.
Nope, me neither.
We are starting this week off with a bit of a cult classic that neither of us were familiar with, which is the 1993 black comedy movie musical, Cannibal, the musical, by Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Hell yeah! So these are the guys who did South Park and, of course, Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
So the reason why I chose this musical was because it reminded me of our game that we do where we add the musical to things.
Oh.
It's just like, I, Tanya, the musical. Or
the musical.
Texas Chainsaw
It's the Ragnarok
Massacre.
game.
The musical Junior.
Julie and Julia, the musical.
Oh boy. So that's why I chose it.
So it's one of their earliest works.
It's their first film. Because they made it while they were still in college.
In true Trey Parker and Matt Stone fashion, it's incredibly offensive.
Oh yeah.
In many moments. We're gonna just slap a big ol' trigger warning where it's like...
There's a lot of historical anachronisms and jokes and intentional misuse of culture for joke effect.
That's a good way to put it. It has an inaccurate depiction of Native Americans in addition to a offensive depiction of Japanese culture and
intended for comedic effect, which failed today but probably killed in 93.
Yeah. Also, college humor.
Yeah.
They were in college.
They were in college. There's a lot of dick jokes.
Doesn't make it more palatable, but just...
Yeah.
It gives you a mindset of what to go in with.
Yes.
So, having had no background on this other than me finding a one-liner for it and telling Grace, oh no. We start
with the card. The card that started it was the one that just sort of took me aback. Did you...
With the painted card?
Yeah, the film that you were about to see...
Oh, the title card.
The title card.
Yeah,
the film that you were about to see was originally released in 1954, upstaged by the overwhelming popularity of Oklahoma. The idea that this was in competition with Oklahoma.
In what world?
Yeah, right? This original negative was rediscovered just this year and painstakingly restored. And then the final line, the film's violent scenes have been edited out for your viewing pleasure. This is like a very violent musical.
Yes. To imagine that there was more. But we move on from this title sequence into snowy woods and we see a pioneer-looking man running through the woods and being attacked by another man who's a cannibal who rips off his arm and then uses that arm to beat another man
to death. And then he bites another guy's neck open. It's feels like very 80s gore. Monty Python, just you see the open neck and apparently they spent most of their budget on this opening sequence.
And what a small budget it was.
Yes, it was. He also rips out a guy's tongue, and that's when we transition into a courtroom with a lawyer basically reenacting this really gruesome, gory eating of people act of cannibalism.
And then he ate his arm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And everyone in the courthouse, the judge, the jury, the crowd is very alarmed.
Oh, no, the judge is not into it. The judge is making a card castle. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. No, I did notice that. But everyone else is very alarmed. Yeah. At first I thought we were in a church. We are in a courtroom. Mm-hmm. And the prosecutor ends his big speech to the jury saying, and this man, who is the man on trial, should be hanged. And everyone literally cheers. Yay! No one cheers in a courtroom.
Like, at the end of this, we see, like, this very scraggly looking guy, the guy that was eating people, insisting, oh, that's not how it happened.
Yeah, we hear his inner monologue of, but that's not how it happened.
And then we get a very
And then we get title cards. Lots of title cards and introductions. This is the moment. Okay, so this film is available on Amazon Prime to rent. Mm-hmm. It's also available on YouTube. And it's around this point where I was like, I had been watching it on YouTube and I was like, the quality's really, really bad. Yeah. I'm going to just spend the $4 to rent it. Quality is exactly the same.
Oh, no,
if you rent it. The quality does not improve.
You didn't tell me that it $4 for the same thing. I spent $4 because I thought it was, like, awful on YouTube, and I didn't check.
No, it's the same. I'm sorry. I should have told you that. We both spent $4 that we didn't need to.
That was $8 too many.
All right, cut. We're like, one of the title cards does tell us it's around, like, I think 1846, something around that time. We are in Colorado,
which this very much is.
Yes, we cut to the sheriff's office in this Colorado town. Mm-hmm. Outside of it, our prosecutor, he comes up to a pretty female journalist who was in the courtroom as well, and was the only person that didn't cheer when he was like, this guy should get hanged. Yeah. And he flirts with her, just outrageously flirts with her, being like, do you want to have dinner with the guy who's going to be the winning prosecutor on this case? And she's like, I'd rather interview the prisoner, because she's a journalist.
I'd rather interview a cannibal than go to dinner with you, which honestly.
But they agree to maybe meet for dinner that night, because he won't leave without getting some kind of a promise. Yep. And he leaves before she goes in to interview the cannibal. He goes, hey, ask him about Leanne. And she's like,
that'll get him talking.
Oh, yeah. It's a clue. So this journalist woman goes into the prison.
Polly.
It's like a one-room sheriff's office prison in whatever Colorado town we're in. Her name is Polly Pry. And she introduces herself, and she's there to interview him. And he's like, my lawyer told me not to talk to anyone. So I don't want to talk to you.
When she tries to flirt it out of him a little bit, and, I'm not really a journalist. I just thought that, like, you looked so alone, and maybe I could share with you some of my secrets, and you could share with me some of your secrets, and what happened to your party? Like,
yes. Exactly. Because she asks him what happened. He goes, I can't talk about it. And she was like, okay, we'll talk about anything else. Who's Leanne? And he freaks out. He's like, what? How do you know about Leanne? What do you... And all of our thoughts, Grace, me, and this woman, Polly, is like, like Leanne must be like a romantic person, maybe his wife, or someone he was linked to romantically. Plot twist, we go into his mind for his flashback. Leanne was his horse. Horse. His loyal horse. And
loyal.
Sorry. Loyal for now. Yeah. And I don't know if we've said this the prisoner's name yet, have we?
This prisoner is Alfred Packer.
It's not Alfred, it's Alfred.
It's actually both.
Oh, god damn it.
Because apparently, and this is like a real life thing, there's actually a lot of accuracies in this movie despite the amount of inaccuracies. So apparently, Alfred Packer...
Despite the exaggerations.
Yeah, despite the exaggerations. Yeah. Alfred Packer, on one of his IDs, someone misspelled it and said Alfred. So he went by both Alfred and Alfred, and they call him both throughout this film. It's very funny.
Okay, I thought I was losing my marbles at one point. Where I was like, okay, this guy's name is Alfred or Alfred, depending on the scene. Packer. We see him in this flashback of when he does not have a beard. He looks in much better shape. He's like a young guy making his fortune in the West with his faithful horse Leanne. And we get our first musical number. We get the song Shpadoinkle, which is definitely an Oklahoma homage to the Oklahoma opening number.
This opening number is big, oh, what a beautiful morning vibes.
This song has been stuck in my head since I started watching since this scene.
I started watching it last night after I had already had a baked potato for dinner, and one of the lines is literally, it's like, the sun is a big baked potato, and I was just like,
the sun is my heart's as full as a baked potato. But yeah, Shpadoinkle will continue to be referenced in this film as like a great thing. Like, oh, it's a Shpadoinkle day. And it's also like
an expletive.
A curse word. It's essentially, when you trip, you're like, Shpadoinkle. It's hilarious.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, that's our Oh, What a Beautiful Morning song. And Alfred on Leanne pulls up. Can you pull up on a horse? Approaches a gold mine where he works.
So this gold mine is in Bingham Canyon, Utah.
Yes, we are in Utah territory.
And there's a miner there who is like, hey, some of us are planning on leaving to go to Breckenridge. We hear, this is in Breckenridge in Colorado. We hear that there's a bunch of gold there. What was it? Lucky Larry is going to
Lucky Larry.
He's going to be our guide. He's been there before. It's going to be great. You should come with us. And Packer is like, oh, I actually used to, like, I was there. I was in the Colorado territory for a while. Like, I've been there before.
Because Colorado's not a state yet, so we're calling it Colorado territory. Right. What was I going to say? And the reason they want to leave now is because the mine they've been working at is like pretty tapped out. And apparently there's gold in Colorado. People are making their fortunes super, super quickly. Yeah. Great idea, especially because this mine is tapped out. Yes. So Packer's like, all right, I'll join your crew.
Let me just talk to the guide. I want to talk to this guy.
Yeah, and so this miner that told Packer about the potential mine in Breckenridge, she's like, all right, I'm going to go meet him right now. Why don't you tag along? Yeah. They get to the meeting place where there's a bunch of other people that are wanted to go on this expedition to Colorado. Surprise, Lucky Larry, who was going to be their guide, was struck by lightning, and his still smoking corpse is carried by.
Yep.
It's still on fire.
Yeah, still on fire, still smoking. The majority of people now don't want to go because they don't have a guide. Yeah. Now, the original miner, this is Israel Swan, note, an optimist.
Yeah, Swan.
He's like, well, wait, this guy Packer has been there before. Let's use him as a guide.
He can be our guy.
And most people are just like, nah. But
I don't know you, and I don't trust you. Lucky Larry knew a lot better, so I'm going to stay here. Yeah. But a handful of people do say, like, there's no fortune for me here in Utah. Let's go to Colorado. Yes. Among these people is a kind of like a Mormon missionary.
Like an aspiring priest.
Yeah, he wants to be a priest, and his name is Bell. Mm-hmm. There's also a bit of a grumpy guy named Miller.
He's a butcher.
There's a father-son duo where the son decides to go and the father stays behind.
Right, that's Humphrey, who's sort of forced...
No. Humphrey
was forced to join the party by his father, and then the young teenager who's just really sex mad is George Noon.
Oh, okay. I was thinking George Noon was the son.
No, George is the young one.
No, it's Humphrey.
Yeah, Humphrey is the one who's forced by his father to join.
Okay, I never knew anyone's names. No. That's my gripe with this film, is that I truly could not tell any of the people apart. Okay, long story short, a bunch of them, about five or six of them. 5 of them are like, including Packer, who is the only one with a horse. Say like, all right, we're gonna make our fortune in Colorado. Yeah. We're going to go tomorrow, and we get a Shpadoinkle reprise. Yeah. With, again, great lyrics. The air is as pure as a baked potato.
Just a lot of baked potato references.
And the last thing that we hear in this scene is one of them asking, like, well, how long is it going to take us to get there? And Packer says, it'll take about us 3 weeks. Cut to them, lost in the wilderness.
SpongeBob card 4 weeks later.
Weeks later. One of them's like, it's been 4 weeks. And they are so lost. And there is a map graphic that we are going to get repeatedly, where we can see, in addition to Packer's voiceover, being like, that's how we set off. And we can see their progress on this map.
And them getting off course.
And also, they're going slower because they don't all have horses. Yeah. So they're all going by foot. It took justice for Packer in this moment, because he's like, it takes 3 weeks by horse. Yeah. I don't know how long it's going to take by foot. No. Definitely longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah. They eventually do get to their first town on their stop to resupply. Oh, what did I miss?
You forgot about the spooky man.
Oh, right. Jesus.
There's a really, really quick scene where it's the same scene where they're lost in the woods. And a weird dude comes up to them and they're like, oh, hey, we're trying to get to Provo. Are we on the right path? And instead of addressing their question at all, he just says, you're doomed. You're all doomed.
Turn back while you can.
And then you're doomed. Turn back while you can. And then he just disappears into the mist. And they're all like, that was weird.
Huh. keep going.
My fun fact is about that guy.
Oh, great. I have too many fun facts. I'll cut it down.
But they do successfully get to Provo.
Yeah. And the butcher, Miller, is mad that it took so long, so the others threaten to put him in timeout if he can't find a more constructive way to manage his anger, which I found to be hysterical. As they are supplying, Packer is looking through the window, because they're like in this little town
they're like a little
general store. And so Packer looks through the window and sees 3 guys touching his horse, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
whoa, whoa.
So he runs outside, and we meet the 3 fur trappers. Their names are, regardless, doesn't matter, except for trappers. The main one's name is Frenchie. Yeah. And then, so he asks, "Oh, are you French?" And he's like, "No."
Why would you assume that?
Why would you assume that? I have to say, this is the first time. So I'm recovered from COVID, but I still have the one little leftover where if I laugh too hard, it throws me into a coughing fit. This was my first coughing fit of this movie, which is when one of the trappers is wearing a skunk hat, which has googly eyes on it, and I lost my shit. I couldn't breathe. I was coughing and laughing so hard.
So stupid.
Because the googly eyes weren't where the eyes of the actual skunk was.
No.
There were actual skunk eyes, and then below that they had 2 googly eyes.
The trappers are bullies and intimidating, and Packer, like, a strong breeze will blow him over.
Oh, yeah,
like,
truly.
He is not intimidating at all. And the trappers look at Leanne, the horse, and they ask, like, is this an Arabian horse? And I don't even know if Packer's, like, knows, but they say, if this horse is an Arabian, then she's a trapper horse. She's meant to be with trappers. If she's with you, you lowly miners, that's, like, just, like, you don't deserve her, essentially, is what they're saying. And Packer's like, I've had Leanne my whole life. She's my best friend.
Yeah. They also try to scare the party with stories of, like, this cyclops in the mountain, and, like, it's all very dangerous. And to
be fair, miners don't travel. Trappers travel. Like, trappers, like, live in the woods. Yeah, miners are not necessarily traveling folks. So they're not as experienced.
Yeah. So
after that, cut to the party that evening. Humphrey's making dinner. It's gross.
Yep. It's green.
Packer asks the group, like, oh, do you really think it's true that Leanne is a trapper horse? And they all kind of cheer him up. They're like, it doesn't matter whether she is or not. It matters that you are good to your horse.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Is fair. And Miller, who is our butcher, grumpy butcher, just keeps complaining and once again gets put in timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get our next song, which is That's All I'm Asking For, which every time I see the title, I just think of That's All I Ask of You.
Oh no, that's not what this song is. That's not what this song
is.
This song is started by the youngest member of our group,
George.
What's his name? Corn
George
Cob?
George Noon.
Who's fresh-faced baby. He's always been with his dad, and he's like, I can't wait to get to Breckenridge to see all the women there.
I've grown up on a mine with nothing but men.
Yeah, and he's just the horniest little
field mouse.
But essentially, the song is a bit of a I sing my part. All right. It's an I want song for the whole group. Like, the little kid wants sex, and Packer wants to have a ranch of his own, and Miller wants to have a butcher shop.
Wants to build a church.
We get a little bit of choreography.
Oh boy.
If you can call it that.
Barely. And then at the end of the song, a black cat crosses their path. Dun dun dun.
And we hear the spooky hermit man's voice, Doom, you're doomed. Again, and once again, they're all like, that's weird.
Huh. I guess we'll just ignore that. The next day.
Yeah, cut to the next morning.
Packer
they wake up and
Leanne's gone.
It's gone. Oh no. She's gone. And what's worse is all their food was on Leanne.
Oh no. And they were like, well, didn't you tie her up? And he was like, no.
No, I never tie her up.
No,
we're like,
fucking
She's like, he wouldn't have left. Maybe she's gone on ahead.
Yeah. But they do see horse tracks going in the way that they want to go. So they end up following, basically, Packer's following Leanne's foot tracks, but it's going in the right direction. So they're all just going in that way.
Yeah. But at first, Packer's like, oh, I want to wait here for her. And they're like, she had all our food. We have to keep going.
Yeah, we have to get to the next town.
And then there's as we move into the next scene, which is, there's a lot of shots of our group just like walking through the woods, walking through fields, walking through snow. So in one of those shots, we get voiceover from Packer who says, and then something happened that changed everything.
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
we see Belle, our Mormon priest, step in a bear trap.
Yep. That sucks.
And one of them's like, who would put a bear trap out here? What? You're in the woods.
You're in the middle of... Also, you just ran into 3 trappers. Who do you think it was? Like...
Yeah, who do you think?
Anyway, so they eventually get his leg out of the trap, and he seems totally fine. He, like, washes it off in the river, and he's like, it's fine, I'll just keep walking on it. So they
Speaking of the river,
they get to a river, and Packer's like...
The Green River.
Oh, no.
Which is a real river.
Packer's like, oh, no, there should be a bridge. But I don't know if we're too far north or too far south. I guess we should just cross here.
Useless.
Oh, he's just such a big dummy.
The miller yells at him, but they all say like, all right,
this is just a party of goons. Honestly.
Goons. So many goons.
So many goons.
Honestly, we haven't done we didn't do our goons, gangsters, and waiters for the last 2 films.
Yeah, well, the last one, there was only 2 of them. Or not last one, the last 5 years, there was only 2 people.
Last 5 years. And they were all goons, gangsters. They were
all
goons,
3 of
gangsters,
them.
and waiters. They were all 3. All right. You're
Anyway.
absolutely right. This entire troop of 5 men are all goons.
Yes. Polly's our waiter. She's just doing her job.
Yeah. And so they all say, like, all right, we're just going to have to swim to get across this river. It is also winter. We have established that it is winter.
There is one very funny moment. They're like, I wonder how deep the river is. And so Packer picks up a rock and throws it in the river. And everyone just sort of waits. And they're like, what was that supposed to prove? And he's like, I don't know.
That didn't prove anything.
I don't know.
I also disagree with their logic where they're like, we're all going one single file line. No. Go in pairs. Mm-hmm. Don't have everyone. That's not how you
ford a river.
Surprise, surprise.
They all get washed downstream.
And we do see on our little map graphic, because they had just been going horizontal, and we see them get into the river and then just keep going further down.
Oh, boy. They get washed down very far south.
Very far down river.
Yeah.
And they're freezing because it's winter, so they get out of the river, and they have to take off all their wet clothes in order to get warm again. So we cut to them around a fire, each in their own sleeping bags, definitely naked underneath.
Yeah, like paired up for warmth.
And there's a bit of dialogue where like Humphrey is like, oh, I can't go on because I'm so hungry, but then he remembers he had fudge that he bought at the general store.
Yeah.
Essentially, this scene is we get Packer being super, super sad about Leanne, and they're like, you'll find another horse. And he's like, there will be no other horse for me but Leanne.
And we get the song, When I Was on Top of You.
The power ballad.
Oh, boy.
The sexual power ballad.
Truly. It's a lot to handle, y'all. The lyrics are a lot. It's all sex references.
It's all sex references.
I think at this point we should mention that Matt Parker made this movie right after his ex, Leanne, cheated on him and left him. So it really highlights...
drives home that Leanne's not faithful.
No, well, and it really explains a lot about this movie in that this is what tempered a lot of his writing was he was really angry about this girl leaving him. So
she was the choreographer for the final scene.
It's just such a small school that I feel like everyone was involved somehow.
I will say this now. It comes up this entire film, but Trey Parker has this 100-yard stare that just kills me every time.
It's wide-eyed.
Wide-eyed. Just and you can even see it in the poster.
Yeah.
He's doing that face on the poster, but when he's being super, super sad about Leanne, we just get this, is it 100-yard or 1,000-yard stare? I don't know what it... I think it's 1,000-yard stare. But just... Oh, God. There's nothing going on behind those eyeballs.
No. Anyway.
So after our sexual power ballad, that is about the horse, but
it's not
out of
also.
context, we cut back to our present day in the jail.
Yeah. And Packer is talking to Polly. He's like, I've never missed anything quite like I missed her. And she's like, oh, so you never saw her again? And he's like, I didn't say that. So they get back to the story.
And he says, after that night, Packer swore to himself he'd get the party to Breckenridge as soon as possible. And a couple weeks later, the voiceover says, they crossed into Colorado territory. And we get this beautiful shot.
Crossing the Colorado River.
But we're not there yet.
Okay.
Because there's just like a really like vast shot of them at the Grand Canyon, and this is a little bit of a giggle.
Oh no, because they cross the Colorado River right before they get to the Grand Canyon.
Into it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not.
It's
the
not
Colorado
important.
River is the Colorado River's at the bottom of the ground. Whatever.
It's not important. Basically, we
point
just see
is
them wet and angry again, and they were like, "I'm not getting naked this time," and then they keep moving on.
The funny thing about this scene is they get to this grand vista of the Grand Canyon, and they're like, definitely lost, and they're like, we can walk around it. It can't be that big.
How big is it? All right.
One does not simply walk around the Grand Canyon.
All right, so they're on their way around the Grand Canyon, and they are...
As the party goes across a plain, they see two figures on horseback in the distance, and they say to themselves, oh, it's Indians.
Gasp.
And they hit the ground, as if they hadn't already been seen.
Yeah, they're not hidden behind anything. They're just on the ground.
And they look up, and the Indians have gotten much closer to them. Now, we're just going to say right now, these Native Americans are fully portrayed by Japanese actors.
Speaking Japanese
the entire time, who are dressed as Native Americans.
As, like, a really inaccurate...
Like what I want to call, like, Party City costumes, essentially.
It's just a whole bunch of wrongness in one scene, and it kind of threw me off.
And it keeps going. It's a lot of cultural appropriation on behalf of both the Native American nations as well as
Japanese culture. Yeah,
and this is also the scene this is the only scene that Mike saw. And he was like, "Why are you watching this garbage?"
Oh
I was
no!
Like, I know, I am aware. You can't.
No. I'm so sorry, Mike.
Like, he came out brushing his teeth. He was like, what the fuck are you watching?
Oh,
all right. Essentially, these quote unquote Native Americans take our party back to their, I'm going to call it like
their encampment.
Camp. Yeah. But not before threatening them
with katanas.
They bring them back. And this is where our troop meets the chief of this camp, who speaks English, albeit in a very affected, offensive Japanese accent.
Yep. And the chief warns them that there is a big winter storm coming, so they should wait it out with them before trying to cross the Rockies. And he's like, you guys can totally wait it out with us, it's fine.
Yeah, and he said, actually, there's a bunch of other people who came through here a couple days ago. They're doing the same thing. I'll take you to them. You all can camp out together.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. It's our trappers.
Yeah.
So our group sees the trappers and they're like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Fuck. Damn it, these people. So they proceed to, like, they have a song called the Trapper Song.
Oh my God.
It's a lot.
All right. This song comes out of the fact that the trappers see Packer and his troop, and they're like, oh, Packer, where's your horse? Mm-hmm. And they make fun of him for losing Leanne, and they're like, oh, I guess she knew. She
knew that you weren't worthy or whatever.
Yeah. And then words are thrown around, the two parties argue, and then we get the Trapper Song.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's supposed to be like an old sailor song.
Maybe? I don't know, but it's
kind of like old-timey style singing. None of these.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Is in Shrek, the Robin Hood song for some reason. It gave me the same vibes of just like one main singer and two guys like backing him up.
See, it made me think of that bar scene in Tangled.
Ooh, another good one. Yeah.
But essentially, it is our three trappers, none of whom are great singers, singing about how great it is to be a trapper.
Yeah.
And how all they're better than everyone because of all the like, and a lot of it's like, I can skin a deer with my eyes closed only by looking at it.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of like crazy brags.
Weird
being
things.
A trapper.
Yeah. But the song ends
because they start arguing about like
which
you're singing in the wrong key.
In.
My God, which is funny because
there's
all
a
so
bunch
flat.
of musical jokes. They're all flat. And then there was
just a nice little bit. I was just like
a bunch of musical jokes, like musical as in like key and tonality, and like which keys minors are like relative of which keys majors, and it's like all very deep niche humor.
Technical, and it was a nice little Easter egg for those of us that got it.
Anyway, while this argument is happening, Packer has gone over to their stuff and finds Leanne's feed bag in their possession. So he's like, oh,
he's
you stole
her. And they're like, no, we just found it.
Yeah.
And Packer tries to get in a fight, but the trappers just beat the shit out of him.
Punches Packer for calling him a liar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we cut back to present time. In
the jail.
Packer is brought to the courthouse because they're ready
the jailer's
to
like, come on, it's court time.
Yep, court time. An old lady throws a tomato hat at him, which apparently did happen in real life.
It's historically accurate.
It's historically accurate.
It happened in the actual trial.
Oh, I love it.
The jury finds Packer guilty, and it is decreed he's going to be moved to another jail, and then he will be taken to be hung the next day.
Yes.
He collapses in fear. The crowd cheers, and only our journalist, Polly Pry, looks angry.
Yeah.
And as Packer is being led away from the courthouse back to jail, he sees the prosecutor once again flirting with Polly.
Yeah.
And he gets a sad story. Not being close enough to hear her just like brutally reject the prosecutor.
Yeah. And so that night, Polly is like writing up her notes on the case and sort of musing over it. And she has her...
We got a power ballad.
We get another power ballad. Her growing affection for him. And the song is called This Side of Me. And like, so she's just like on a giant staircase, just like writing her notes.
I assume
like in a
she's
hotel
in like
or something?
a boarding house, or she's just like on the staircase.
Halfway through the song, this random dude just like walks down. Oh, random passerby.
Pedestrian.
That's our
waiter.
That's our true waiter.
Our waiter.
Just like walking down, sees her singing and like staring off into the fourth wall, and he just like looks at her. Like tries to see what she's looking at.
What she's seeing.
Just like, and he looks very confused until she like looks at him while she's singing, like, get the fuck out of here. And then he just like keeps walking.
My song.
It was so funny.
So funny. There's a lyric from her song. She starts her song by kind of saying, like, I can't imagine him being violent. Something in this story is not adding up.
Yeah. And
then she starts talking about her growing affection for him, and she has a lyric, his eyes can see right through me. And once again, we get a shot of his 1,000-yard stare.
Big ol' eye.
Oh my boy. God. And so the song ends.
Yeah.
She kind of muses to herself, like, perhaps I'm not the cold bitch I pretend to be, which is an actual lyric. I'm not paraphrasing.
Yes.
And then she's looking through her notes again, and she looks at a map that's included in her notes, and she gets an idea. We see a light bulb, and she goes to visit him in jail again.
Yeah. She visits him again. Now, Packer's mad because he saw her with that attorney. He was like,
snippy.
I didn't know that you were his girl. And she's like, I am not affiliated with that fucktard. And so, but she does eventually trick him into continuing his story. So we cut back to the past, and we see Packer learning martial arts
from these
quote
unquote Native
Americans. And he's
learns,
asking, like, oh, hey, could I use this on, like, I don't know, 2 tall dudes and, like, 1 shorter one that is definitely not the trappers that we're talking about?
And the chief's like, oh, are you talking about the trappers? Because they left this morning.
They left this morning.
Like, what? Packer then goes to the group, and he's like, hey, the trappers left. We need to go now. And
they're like, why wouldn't we wait out winter here and just go?
What's the kid's name?
George?
The kid's name? All I can think of is Corn Cob. I don't know. That's not right.
Oh, no. Noon. George Noon.
Noon doesn't want to leave. The chief of this tribe has said that they shouldn't leave because, like, it's winter.
Yeah.
But Packer gets everyone to agree to go. He's like, listen, maybe the trappers knew there was going to be a break in the storm. Like, this might be our only chance.
And we don't want to lose out on the gold.
That's the threat of time, is that if it takes them too long to get to Colorado,
there won't be any gold
left.
left.
Be gone.
Yeah.
So they all agree to follow Packer's suggestion and leave.
Yeah.
We see them walking along the river. They were told, like, go east.
Yeah.
And we see that Bell, our Mormon priest guy, who got his leg caught in that bear trap earlier, it's just fully rotten.
Yeah.
It is so
gangrene,
gross. It is gangrene.
Infected. It's gross.
And once again, our handy-dandy map shows us the group's progress, and they are so lost. They've doubled back.
Yeah.
They are,
of course,
up creek. 0 paddles in sight.
No paddles. So they're walking through and they're complaining about being very, very hungry. And just then they see a lamb and they're like, whoa, let's kill this lamb.
A convenient lamb crosses their path.
Let's kill this lamb and eat it. And they're about to shoot this lamb, and Packer's like, I can't look. And so he turns around so he doesn't have to see it and turns right into the Cyclops that everyone had been warning them about.
That they were warned about by the trappers.
Just a very tall mountain man.
It's not a Cyclops. It's a mountain guy that only has
one eye.
Like, lost an eye.
Yeah.
There's not an eye in the center of his forehead. He just has one eye, and it is the grossest thing.
It's so gross. It literally squirts pus. It's disgusting.
Pus
every time he yells.
Ugh.
It was so gross.
Ugh. Again, you see the seedlings of, like, South Park humor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Cyclops confronts them. He goes, "Are you the ones that have been stealing and killing my sheep?" Implying that, like, the trappers have been here and the trappers have been getting his sheep. And they're like, no, we're... And the Cyclops has a southern accent, so they pretend like they're southern.
Also southern. And so
he calls them on it.
Yeah.
And essentially... They get caught, and then they run away.
Yes.
Like, that's the end of the scene.
Yeah.
And they don't get the sheep, so they're still starving. Days pass. The snow's getting deeper. Everyone is losing hope and is just despondent.
And so the optimist, Swan, is just like, you know what we should do to really, like, a team-building activity?
Do you want to build a snowman?
It's literally, the song is Let's Build a Snowman. And he, like, builds a snowman. There's a tap break somehow. Like, and they actually...
In, like, 3 feet of snow.
3 feet of snow. And they actually bring it up later where Humphrey's just like,
they
remember
do.
when he did a tap break? How did he do that?
How did he do that?
And they're like, this is... now is when you... Okay. So anyway... But it ends, no one is into it, and
no one is into
angry
it to the
butcher,
point that
like, just
destroys the snowman
with a
that Swan has
pickaxe.
made with a pickaxe. It's...
And then they just keep walking.
Yeah, it's... God. And we get the voiceover that from Packer saying, the days were bad, but the nights were even worse.
Yes.
We see them all huddled around a fire, shivering. All of them have really long, scraggly beards at this point.
Yes.
They are
I
all
did
showing
appreciate
signs of
that.
frostbite.
I did appreciate
that the beards got longer.
The beards got longer, and they had frostbite. Like, that was a nice touch in terms of just like, oh yeah, they're outside for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. The butcher suggests that they eat their shoes for the leather.
And the salt.
Because again, butcher, And some of them do, but some of them don't.
Yep.
Swan once again tries to cheer them all up, but it does not work. And to the point where the next day, they are once again walking through the snow, and they are all, like, on edge, losing their minds with hunger, starvation, frustration.
And Swan tries to sing Let's Build a Snowman again, and
Yeah.
Bell, our Mormon priest, just shoots him in the fucking
Shoots him.
head.
In the middle of the song.
Yeah, it
No
reminded
warning.
me of Clue, where it's like, da-da-da-da-da-da, I am your singing telegram, bam! It's just like, same thing.
Yes.
Just like middle of the song, bam!
See, it made me think of that Indiana Jones scene.
Oh, yeah, also good.
The swords.
The
where he just
swords,
pulls out
and
the
then
gun.
out of nowhere, just, pow! Yeah.
But this is our first moment of intergroup violence, and it shocks the rest of the party. Bell immediately, like, walks off in horror with what he has done and sits apart from the group, and the rest of the party is just shocked
Taken
and
aback.
appalled.
Yeah,
very taken aback. Cut to that night, the rest of the party is sitting around the fire looking at the dead body of their friend Swan, and Bell is apparently in timeout, but he's just still
moping and
that he just
processing
committed
and
murder.
And so while they're sitting around this fire, they were talking about, like, oh man, we should have just gone to California. That would have been so much easier. And then someone's like, I don't know, man. Did you hear about the Donner Party? They tried to get to California. Like, and they ended up having to eat each other to survive. And then suddenly everyone just, like, looks at the dead body. It's just...
Yeah. When was the Donner Party? Because for some reason...
You thought it was after?
Because they were in 1846, so this must have taken place in, like, 1886 or something. 1874 is Alfred Packer. So
okay.
that makes
sense. So that's relatively recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 30 years later. That would definitely still be in the minds of people.
Earlier in this episode, I say this takes place in, like, 36, 46. Nope. That's wrong. This takes place in 76.
Yep.
So not only, like, the Donner Party had happened prior, but it had happened recently enough that people
we're still going to remember that. Absolutely. So they decide to eat the parts of the body to survive.
Yeah, and they give Miller, the butcher, the knife. They're like, hey, you're a butcher. Butch.
Yeah. So they end up eating some, and the only person who doesn't is Bell, who's the one who killed him. He's like, I'm not going to do that.
And everyone takes kind of really tentative bites, except for Humphrey, who's just, like, chowing down on a different limb every time we cut to him.
Well, it's so funny because Humphrey is the one who's like, oh, I don't want to eat the shoes. Feet have been in the shoes. And then it cuts to him eating the foot.
He's eating the foot!
Oh, so funny. There's just a lot of tiny callbacks and jokes like that throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
So
it's good. It's good editing.
As they they eat bits and pieces and sort of are contemplating like this thing that they're doing, Packer, again with his 1,000-yard stare, just kind of like lays down and slowly falls asleep.
He throws up
Oh,
and
yes,
then he goes to sleep.
He throws up and then he goes to sleep. And then we have the Oklahoma-inspired dream nightmare ballet.
Oh my god. I didn't make the connection to the Oklahoma Dream Ballet until just now. Yep. That's so funny.
And it involves himself and Leanne and Cabazon, who's Frenchie.
Who's Frenchie?
His name is Frenchie Cabazon.
Right. So stupid. And there's, it is, if you know anything about Oklahoma, you know about the Dream Ballet.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
We see Packer being happy and being with Leanne, and he has flowers, and he clearly has a body double for some of the actual ballet sequences.
But it's like
so
they
funny.
do not try and hide it at all.
No. And they didn't even
funny.
get someone that like kind of looks like
No, they didn't.
But in this nightmare, the trapper finds him, and they have a ballet dance-off, and then the trapper also has a body double,
Yes.
and then the trapper stabs him and starts to cut him up, and Packer wakes up from his nightmare.
Yeah. And when he wakes up,
morning.
he yells, "Ike!" It's never explained.
It's explained in the...
that's one of my fun facts.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And then more days pass.
More days of walking.
Party completely loses hope. At this point, they start the other men start to suspect that the reason, like that Packer's not actually trying to lead them to Breckenridge, that he's trying to find the trappers to find his horse. So
yeah, because the trappers weren't going to Breckenridge. The trappers were going to Sagawatch.
Yeah.
And Belle confronts the party saying, Packer isn't even trying to get us to Breckenridge. He's just going after that horse. Yeah. So he's going after and to get revenge on the trappers.
Yes. And so they end up talking. They're like cuddled around a fire and they're like can barely move. And we get the reprise of "That's All I'm Asking For," but it's very low energy.
it's just
that's all I'm asking for.
And it's just that they just don't want to die. They're like, I don't want to die in these woods. That's all I'm asking for. I would just like to be
warm. I'd like some food. Like, it's a downer. But they
very down compared to the original.
Yeah.
But they do float the idea of maybe sacrificing someone else for the group's survival. Maybe Belle, because Belle killed Swan.
So it's only fair. And then Belle's like, well, what about Packer here? He's the one who led us into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
and Packer's
Packer
like,
should be
whoa.
See, and Packer's like, okay, let's not do anything hasty. And Packer has a little more energy than the rest, so he goes, you know what? There's a ridge up ahead. Y'all stay here, stay warm. I'm going to go on like a little scouting mission. Just go see what's over the next ridge.
Yeah.
And then we cut to our map. It is a far ridge. We see Packer going far.
Like a couple hours.
And then coming back. But what's so funny is it's very clearly like he walks off camera and they cut. And then he just walks back on being like, I'm back. Like no time has passed.
But he gets back to camp and everyone's dead except for Belle. So one of them, like a big old rock has crushed their head. The other one is like missing a leg. There's some meat on the fire. Like everyone's dead except
Not
for
only
Belle.
was there murder, there has already been cannibalism.
Munching, yes.
And Belle comes out of the woods with more firewood. He is like, oh, good, you're back. They all attacked me, so I defended myself.
They were going to eat me, so I had to kill them.
So I had to eat them first.
Right. Packer's like, I don't know, man. And Bella's just like, well, now we have enough meat to last out the winter. Like, we'll just do that.
We'll bury the bodies. No one's ever going to find out.
We'll just say that we got separated and no one will ever know. And Packer's like, I don't know, man. I think we should tell someone. And so they start scuffling. And so Packer has a cleaver and Belle has a knife.
Yeah, Belle says, no one's going to believe you because no one's going to find out. I won't let you risk my chance of survival.
And my chance at a church. He still wants to have
I'm going to be a priest.
Yeah. So Packer ends up chopping Belle in the face, like full just like chunk in an eye.
In an eye.
And seemingly killing him.
And he goes down.
And then, but then back up he gets. And so then Packer shoots him in the chest and then he falls back down. But then he like grits a stick and starts like poking the body to see if it's still alive. And then back up he gets. And so he stabs him in the other eye with the stick and back down he falls. And then he's back up.
He won't die. To the point where Packer's just grabbing anything, like a rock, a shoe, anything he can, until he finally gets a pickaxe. I don't know why he didn't start with a pickaxe.
I don't know why he didn't start with a pickaxe.
And he pickaxes
him
Bell
right
in
the
chest. Right up in the heart. And he finally dies. This had big, 'tis only a flesh wound energy.
Yeah.
This will not die.
Just keeps, and I'm just like, double tap, go for the head. Like,
go for the head.
Anyway, so then we get a bit of a voiceover where Packer is sort of he like waits out the winter there and just eats everyone.
He's like, I had no other option. The storms kept me from
making my way anywhere.
Yeah.
And
so
eventually,
I had to stay there.
Once the winter clears, he finds another Native American tribe who sort of like give him some food, clean him up, and then point him in the right direction. And so he eventually makes it to, and I can never pronounce this, Sawash?
Sagwash?
Sagwash? I don't know if the G is pronounced or not. I'm going to be honest.
I think it is.
Okay.
I think it is. But I don't remember.
Anyway,
I could be wrong.
So basically, the town that the trappers were on their way to, so not Breckenridge.
Yeah. They never made it to Breckenridge.
Yeah. So he arrives there.
But essentially, he shows up in this town. He's like, I lost everyone in the woods.
I went for a scouting mission, and then I couldn't find them again.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheriff there is like a bit suspicious, and he was like, well, we should go and look for them. And Parker's like, I need to get back to Utah to find my horse. And he's like, you mean that
you're
said
not Packer.
I know, this happened a lot in my notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, you mean you're just gonna leave your party there? That's suspicious. You don't think they're alive? And he's like, all right, I'll go with you and I'll help look. Cut to Packer seeing Leanne.
What's so funny is he sees Leanne, and the shot of him seeing Leanne clearly has just Leanne alone. Mm-hmm. But when we cut to his point of view, the trappers are there and are already on top of Leanne.
So,
and we hear
Frenchie is riding Leanne.
Yeah, and I don't remember if it was a voiceover Packer says to himself, but he can't believe that Leanne is letting Frenchie on her back.
Because he said multiple times, like, no one else could ride her. Leanne wouldn't let anyone else.
Yeah. And he continues to assert that, like, she's been taken by the trappers, but then he realizes, like, there's, like, Leanne has left him for the trappers. She has not been stolen.
No. And so, the trappers are just like, I'll give you $8 for her. And he's like, I don't want your money. And then like goes into the saloon to drink his troubles away.
Yes. And a little bit later, the trappers come into the saloon and harass Packer for losing his party and for taking so long. They're like, we got here 2 months before you and we didn't lose anyone in our party.
Right. And the sheriff comes in and is just like, I just heard that all of them are dead and their bodies have been found and they've been found eaten.
Yes, and I'm arresting you for cannibalism.
And then
Side note, the sheriff is plastered. He is plastered.
And a big old brawl occurs. Also, the Cyclops mountain man is there.
Essentially, Packer gets beaten up by the crowd in the saloon.
Yes.
It's just like getting thrown from one group to another. Frenchie finally butts in. He goes, hey, Packer is mine. And he starts to beat him up, and Packer gets thrown into a piano, but he has a little bit of a mind flash remembering what the chief taught him when he was learning martial arts. And so he kicks Frenchie in the face with like a nice roundhouse leg, and then he punches him repeatedly in the groin. Like it's a whole bit that he's just punching this guy's dick.
Yep. And at the very end, he runs out into the night, and we hear Frenchie. He now has a very...
Oh, wait, but first,
right, yes.
Grabs Frenchie when other people try to get close to him, and he kind of holds his mouth to Frenchie's neck. He goes, don't come any closer, or I'm going to eat this guy. And they're like, oh, he's a cannibal. Oh, no. And then Packer makes a break for it, and then here's my moment of joy. So we get an exterior shot at the saloon, of the entire saloon running after Packer. And clearly, the exit, there's like an entrance around just off camera because this saloon is... It's just a continuous stream of the same people running out, then running back in off camera to run back out on camera. It goes on for like 30 seconds. It's so long.
There's so many people, and it's the same people every time.
Same people.
Oh no.
So stupid.
Then they Packer is talking to Polly about like, oh, and I fled into Wyoming, but I kind of wish that they had just killed me. And she was like, why? And he's
that's
like,
my moment of
have
joy.
you ever been to Wyoming? And she's like, oh God.
This sounds horrible.
That's horrible. And so, but
I will say there's
found.
a moment when Packer leaves town, he sees Leanne and has a chance to like
take her
just
and run
hitched
off.
up by herself, but he leaves her behind.
Yes.
But again, Packer's caught and is brought to justice.
Yes.
And
In
cut
Colorado.
to the present day in Colorado. Cut to present day in the jail. Polly says, I'll be with you and it's gonna be okay. Nothing's bad's gonna happen to you on hanging day.
Yeah.
Cut to hanging day.
Yes,
Complete
the
with a
day of the
a
show,
title
y'all.
card. Oh my God.
And we get dancing in the streets. Yeah, so we get.
But first, we
town.
learn that Polly's not even there. Packer is led out of the jail and is led to the gallows. He kind of looks around for Polly, and the prosecutor says, oh, she went back to Denver. Like, she's not here.
She's not here, and he's very sad.
And we get...
The town breaks into song, and it's called Hang the Bastard.
Hang the Bastard.
And...
Oh, man, it is... It's dancing in the street.
It is dancing in the street.
Dancing?
No!
No! Hang him till he's dead. Very graphic lyrics. Hang him till he's, like, can't
twitching
anymore.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get my other laugh so hard that I started coughing moment, which is they were like,
The Scottish
cowbell
executioner?
solo. No.
God,
And then it's
so
just like a dude
stupid.
banging on a cowbell. It is not in rhythm. It is not like a drum solo. It's just a dude banging on a cowbell for 30 seconds. And I couldn't breathe. It was so stupid.
I had a moment where I was like, this came out in 93, and I was like, when was the More
Cowbell
Cowbell sketch from SNL? 2000.
Oh, okay.
So
fair enough. This was before.
this predates that.
Yeah. It was very funny. Anyway, so
It was debatably funny.
I
All right.
I couldn't breathe. It was just off tempo. There was no beat. It was awful. So everyone, but the song ends and we get the Scottish executioner. Don't know why he was Scottish.
For no reason. Packer's led up to the gallows. The crowd is bloodthirsty. Yeah. And the executioner is like, do you have any last words? And Packer's like, I do. And the whole crowd just groans.
Oh.
And God, what were his last words? They were funny. He were like, this is just a good memory that, and life lesson that
it can always get worse or something.
Yeah, just when you think you're in your darkest moment, it can always get worse. And the executioner is like, all right, shut up, time to die. And just then, Polly comes in
on
to
Leanne.
town, right on Leanne, like waving a document, and she runs up to the gallows, and she gives it to the executioner. She goes, this is a stay of execution ordered by the governor.
Yeah.
You can't hang this man. And everyone's like, boo!
Why?
And it's because Packer cannot legally be tried because Colorado isn't a state.
Yes, it is at
It's a
this
territory.
point a territory, so he can't be tried under state law. And she's also like, and you, Mr.
Or federal law.
Or federal
Yeah.
law, and you, Mr. Because the prosecutor is just like, boo. And she's like, and you knew this the whole time. And everyone's just like, ooh, looks at him.
Yeah, because that's definitely breaking the law.
Yep.
And Polly's up on the gallows with Packer, and
Frenchie.
Packer's still in his noose on the little trap door, but Packer is confused and asks Polly why she would do this for him, and she says that she sings a reprise of When You Were on Top of Me, essentially proclaiming her love for him.
But just then
we see
Frenchie, he arrives.
Who is mad.
Who is very mad. And he's like, I want revenge because of your
bullshit.
fight. This is bullshit. And so he pulls the gallows lever.
Yeah,
and
the gallows lever.
And Packer falls, but just then who should arrive is the chief. The chief arrives and cuts the rope with his katana, and so he survives. And also then he cuts off, the chief cuts off Frenchie's head, and it goes...
And it rolls into the
crowd. And the crowd is just like, ah yes, bloodlust, sated.
Yeah, they're bloodlust sated. The entire crowd is just like, cool, good,
thanks.
Got my thing.
So they leave.
Oh my god.
Wild.
Yeah. And it turns out, Packer's like, Chief, how'd you get here? Like, Leanne went to go get the chief? I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
And Packer has a moment where he's like, you know what? I don't really need Leanne anymore now that I have you, Polly. Yeah. Hey, Chief, you want my horse? And the Chief's like, you're giving me your horse? Cool, yeah, I'll take your horse. And Packer turns back to Polly, but the Chief goes to Leanne, katana held high, and we hear the sounds of dismemberment.
Yeah, he fucking kills this horse.
Oh my god, but Packer says, I don't need Leanne anymore, I have you, Polly. And Polly's like, I have to go back to Denver to work on this appeal case.
But I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. And they kiss. And
we get the finale,
Shpadoinkle. And there's like a jump scare at the very end.
Belle is still alive and has somehow gotten there. With no eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh my god.
The end.
And that's the end of Cannibal the musical.
My god.
Christ. Well, this was a film. It was a debatably comedic film.
It had its moments.
I understand why it's a cult classic. It's not my cult.
No.
Not my circus, not my monkeys, not my cult.
Yeah.
But
it did have its funny moments, and you could definitely... I think this was a really good example of the beginnings of the South Park humor that got them famous.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's not surprising to me at all to see that, like, South Park came from this, Book of Mormon came from this, America Squad or whatever it's called came from this.
Yeah.
But, Grace, what'd you think of this film?
I wanted it to be more like Rocky Horror. I knew that this was like a cult classic, and so I got excited that it was going to be like super just fucking weird but fun like Rocky Horror is. And it was more offensive.
And campy, but not offensive.
Yeah, and it was more offensive than I wanted it to be. And but it's still...
That I was okay with.
I think...
Not that I'm okay with it.
No, I think this was obviously written by like two 20-year-old dudes.
Two college dudes. Yeah.
And you can tell. Two white college dudes from Utah.
Who think they're the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah. Now, and I could see the beginning of their humor, and their humor does get, refined is the wrong word, but more clear as their careers progress. And I mean, Book of Mormon is a huge fucking hit. It's very funny.
But also think of like what year Book of Mormon was written in.
Yeah.
And where we were
culturally.
With a cultural awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely feels like the first attempt of an era, I guess.
Yeah. I support that. All right. You want to do a little dramaturgy?
Yes.
Dramaturgy report. This was, oh my god, written, directed, and produced by Trey Parker. And starring Trey Parker. By Trey Parker, who played Alfred Packer, who is credited as... Oh god, he's credited by a different name.
Yeah, it's like
in this film, Juan something. Yeah, and it's a deep cut reference to like an alias that actual Packer used.
Yeah, there's a lot of deep cut references in this movie.
Because essentially, Trey Parker was obsessed. The original name for this show was Alfred Packer the Musical, and then it was renamed Cannibal the
because
Musical.
They were like, listen, no one outside of Colorado knows who that is.
Knows who Alfred Packer is. All right, Randolph Severn Trey Parker III.
Great.
Is an American actor, animator, writer, producer, director, and composer.
Yep.
He is best known for co-creating South Park, starting in 1997 until present day, co-developing Book of Mormon with his creative partner Matt Stone, who was also involved in this. He played Humphrey.
Yep.
He was interested in film and music as a kid and attended University of Colorado Boulder, which is where he met Stone. I love that this film was submitted to Sundance, who did not respond.
Nope. Can you imagine? they eventually, so they moved to Los Angeles together after Cannibal the musical, and South Park ended up premiering on Comedy Central in August 97, so about 4 years after this. They had full creative control and got like great reviews from critics and fans. They wrote and produced and directed Team America World Police in 2004.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, and then after several years of development, they did Book of Mormon on Broadway, which, you know, is as famous as it is. Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
They established their own production studio. Together, they've received like 5 Primetime Emmy Awards, 4 Tony Awards, and a Grammy Award. This motherfucker is 1 away from getting an EGOT.
1 away from an EGOT.
Oh, God. And, but he did get an Academy Award nomination for the song Blame Canada from South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. So he almost fucking had an EGOT, which is, first off, wild. Anyway. This has been done on stage a couple of times. So in 2001, there was a 6-month off Broadway run of the show. Mm-hmm. It like went on in Europe, and a high school tried to do it, but like got censored, obviously. It was in fringe festivals. It ended up having a big production in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival at one point.
Yeah, it's again like with cult classics.
It's a cult classic sort of, like every now and then someone will pop up. Yeah. It's like every 3 or 4 years someone somewhere puts it on.
Yeah, exactly. This film is shot very much amateur B-movie style, documentary style as well. The film quality is not good because it was in 1993.
Yeah. And then I just have like a little bit of notes about the screenplay and the songs. So like, for example, that big opening overture that we had, Trey Parker has said that he wanted to mimic sort of a Rodgers and Hammerstein opening, but he then acknowledged later, he was like, it made it a really slow start, and it was probably not the best idea. And the courtroom dialogue is based on actual court transcripts from the time, and the room in which they filmed that was the actual courtroom.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, and then the thing that we mentioned where he wakes up and says Ike for no reason, that is a very obscure reference to the film The Legend of Alfred Packer from 1980, which was the first biopic about his life. In one scene, Packer also wakes up from a dream and screams the exact same words, and it's never explained why. And so Trey Parker was just like, sure, let's do it again. Why not?
Yeah, Trey Parker had this fascination with Alfred Packer, which is obviously where the origins of this come from, but they filmed it in Lake City, which is where the courthouse was, and there, I believe there's like an Alfred Packer museum. They're like, if you go to Lake City, you're going because you want to learn and see
about
the history. Like, you don't really go there otherwise, to the point where the people that live there are super, super like knowledgeable about Alfred Packer and the legend of Alfred Packer, and are also interested. So all the townsfolk that are in the courtroom scene are also just like people that live in that town.
Yeah, including the old lady that threw the tomato. It was great.
Threw the tomato, yeah. Reviews and reception. Yep. So as we said, this started out as like an undergrad film. It started out as a 3-minute trailer that they then raised money for and filmed this. Oh God, what was it? 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Approximately?
Yeah, it was about 90
minutes feature. It had, like, as I said, it had a little premiere in Boulder in 1993. It was submitted to Sundance, who did not respond.
Wolf.
MTV did a short news segment on it, and as a result, they made industry connections. They intended to sell the rights for $1 million and spend the remaining $900,000 to create another film, but instead the film was sold to Troma Entertainment in 1996, where it was retitled Cannibal the Musical, and it became their best-selling title upon Trey Parker and Matt Stone's later success, because 97 was when South Park premiered.
Yes.
So it was only a couple years later.
Right, exactly.
It has been adapted into stage play for community theater groups all over the world. It currently holds a 63% fresh approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The site's critical consensus says, if you're only going to watch one black comedy about a real-life explorer whose fellow travelers ended up eaten, make it Cannibal the Musical.
It's like, it's so specific. In terms of actors and casting, I mean, like we said, most of the cast was people from the town, people that they went to school with, people just like from around the neighborhood. All of the people who played Native Americans were Japanese exchange students. Like, it's that were tempted with, like, you know, free food to be a part of this film, which, like, as a college student, that would get me. Yeah. You know, it's like all of their friends, some of their teachers were in it.
Their parents
were in it. That's true.
They truly just got everyone they could.
Yeah, exactly.
Singing and dancing?
Yes, so for this song, Shpadoinkle.
Stuck in my head still.
I know. They had written the lyric, the sky is blue and all the leaves are green. The sun is as warm as a baked potato. I think you know exactly what I mean. It's a blank day. And they were just trying to figure out, like, what that word would be. And so he just, like, added in a meaningless word just to, like, figure out the amount
was
of...
a placeholder.
It was a placeholder that had the right amount of syllables that he wanted, but they never found anything else. And everyone else in the crew was like, I don't know, I kind of like Shpadoinkle. So they just fucking kept it.
And as we mentioned at the beginning, it became this inside joke of the film where it's kind of a placeholder for every emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be you stub your toe and you're like, or like, it's a beautiful day, it's a Shpadoinkle day. Yeah. That is the song that is stuck in my head. Mm-hmm. I find it the catchiest song of this film.
Yes.
In regards to singing, Parker can kind of carry a tune. Yeah. The rest cannot.
No. They do their best.
But that adds to the film. Dancing wise, big community theater vibes. A lot of jazz squares. And,
oh man, arms swinging, looking in directions, and then there's the
like
end.
A singular movement, like lifting your hat on a certain beat.
With the final in the streets dancing, it was a little bit more. Looked like they got a couple dance majors to get in there.
Yeah,
the same thing with the ballet.
Right up in the front.
Yeah,
it was choreographed. Yeah, the Dream Ballet.
Yeah. Apparently, did you know, the original cut of this movie was 160 minutes. It was
160?
160. It was over 2 hours. So there were 2 more songs that were going to be used in the movie that were originally cut. One of them was called Shatterproof, and it was a rap song to be performed by Packer during the bar fight scene. And then the other deleted song was Don't Be Stupid, which was sung by several of the other miners and was placed before they set off to Colorado.
And see, I thought this film was actively long enough because there's only so many times that they can be wandering through the wilderness and be like, I'm hungry and tired.
It was very
Insert
repetitive.
Plot point here. I'm hungry and tired. Insert plot point here.
Yeah. 160 minutes. Can you imagine?
That's illegal.
That's illegal.
What are your fun facts? Hit me with them.
Gripes.
Oh, gripes and giggles. My gripes are that I never knew anyone's names.
That too. Sound quality was very inconsistent. Obviously, whenever they were filming in the courthouse, the sound quality was weird. Whenever they were filming outside, the sound quality was weird. Like
they actually noted about when they were filming in the courthouse, so they were like, it was so cool to get to film in the actual courthouse, but audio-wise, it was a nightmare, and it was a terrible decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it didn't matter, because only they knew that they were in the original one. Like, or unless you were an Alfred Packard fan. Yeah. And I'm going to add on to your audio where it's like, I paid $4 and it would have been the same quality on YouTube. I thought it was getting better quality. Because sometimes YouTube bootlegs are worse quality.
Yeah.
And
this was not one of those times.
The same.
Dear listener, do not pay $4 for this movie.
Do not pay $4.
My main giggle was that fucking trapper's hat with the googly eyes. I couldn't breathe. It was so funny. And it was 100% our humor, because Anna, whenever we lived together, would sometimes attack my room with googly eyes.
Dear listener, I bought I think a 400 pack of googly eyes, and I would just attach them to Grace's possessions when she wasn't home and wait often weeks for you to find them, and then I would hear a cackle from the other side. I knew you would have found it. My moment of joy is that really, really silly one-liner where he says, like, I made it to Wyoming and it was worse than being killed. Why? Have you been to Wyoming?
Oh, God.
Because that's my humor. That's my humor.
Oh. All right, fun facts.
My fun fact is that the guy, that very, very brief, you're doomed, spooky hermit guy in the woods, is a local who plays the part of Alfred Packer every summer in that courtroom when they do a reenactment of the trial.
I love it. I could see that. Yeah. I have a couple.
Every summer.
When Polly is having her power ballad on the staircase, and she stares down into the picture of his mugshot with the big eyes, his prisoner number is 24601.
No, it's fucking not.
Yes, it is.
No! Oh my god.
Which I found.
How did I miss that?
I know. Then, as you watch, you'll notice that the horse Leanne is played by several different horses. I think they had 15 different horses, none of which looked exactly the same.
That's so funny.
They had
they were all brown.
They were all brown, but varying ranges from like dark brown to like light tan. Like it didn't go. It was not consistent. But the main one, so there were quite a few incidents that happened. So Parker got like a hairline hip fracture after being thrown from one of the horses. Fights would break out.
Non-union film.
Yeah. Fights would break out amongst the crew, and then some of the main cast. So they actually crossed this river, but it was very dangerous to the point where they actually did almost get fully swept away. And they remarked afterwards that was incredibly dangerous, and they really shouldn't have done that. And then also, apparently, there was an avalanche during shooting at one point. Like, it was just a cursed production.
Yeah, it truly, truly was. And I hope they negotiated a good contract for everyone to get paid.
I don't think anyone got paid for this.
Not residuals, but like, I don't know.
Something.
For your threat to your life.
Yeah.
Do you have what's your homework? You have homework, right?
I was going to say, so there is apparently a commentary of them watching this movie and talking about it where they just drink the whole time and get progressively more drunk, and it ends with almost a fight. And I'm going to say find that and listen to it because that sounds like a ridiculous time.
My homework is there is an official website for this film called cannibalthemusical.net that I found when I was doing some dramaturgy. And not only does it have like links and stuff, but it has I want to say 20 chapter blog written by, I believe, Matt Stone, detailing firsthand development and production.
Yeah.
Which is how I learned my fun fact about the You're Doomed guy.
That's very cool. All right. Yeah. That is all I wrote. Is that all you wrote?
This was a quick one.
It was a quick one.
That's all I wrote.
Yeah.
This was a bit of a slapdash one, but that's what honestly, they came to us with.
This deserves.
That's what it deserves. Good. All right. Well, I'm ready to leave this one in the past.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
I hope you have a Shpadoinkle day if you're still with us.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much for listening. That is literally all she wrote.
Yeah.
I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
This has been 5678, a movie musical podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
5678.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.